Right, moment of truth time, 13th of December 2013.
Changing my quad.
Yeah, changing the quad.
A tiny little homemade Moxon.
The one that Bill's made. 0050 in the middle of the Geminid meteor shower.
What is it? 10 foot? There we are.
So this is basically the setup I might be able to have in my house.
You can't expect that to compete with that, so how's that?
Deary me.
That's bigger than the other.
What do you say, Andrew?
Fantastic, well done, Phil.
Congratulate me.
I do indeed. Congratulations, Bill. Fantastic job.
And
Look at that.
And you can transmit on that on 2 metres.
With the Moxon probably as well, I should think.
No, that's what I'm on about. You can transmit on that Moxon. You've got your collinear for vertical.
Yeah.
And you've got that for horizontal.
So is that the one for Andy then? That little thing?
Yeah,
outside?
that's what I made him.
Well, let's hope it works. So are you now going to camp back to your house and try it?
All he wants is that as high as he can get it. He's seen it. You've seen it.
Yeah. But even if it doesn't work in my house, Damien, it's a very portable setup.
Yeah.
So that means
you could go out.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking.
You could
while
go
you've got
out.
Geminids now,
it'd be good, yeah.
You could go and test it, couldn't you?
It would be brilliant, yes. Are you up to that?
What's that?
You up to go back to my house in a few minutes?
Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, I've told Marilyn.
Then I don't mind coming to you, and then I'll go from there.
Yeah.
I'll have another cup of tea then at your house while you're sitting. I can make it while you're sitting.
I'll finish my tea now. Look, I always leave mine to go cold.
It was a nice cup of tea, thank you.
Good.
I was gasping. I didn't have one. I had to drink, but I didn't have a thing.
Well, you can already see it's not picking up the same number of meteors, and they're not quite as bright as on the big one.
So why can't you use on that then the one that I saw at your house? That one that's a mini version of that.
Yes, you can.
So why don't you try that first?
We can try them both.
We can try, but
that'll be stronger, won't it?
No. Because, I mean, I've got an aerial analyzer. It was perfect here, but because it's mounted on a metal pole, it's upset it.
Yeah, except that bear in mind, I have 5.4 metre ex-military poles sitting in there as well.
Yeah.
So the option exists for me at different times to try different things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think the two together help.
So you need a plastic pole then or something just to
isolate. I've got a fiberglass one.
Yeah, it's got a fiberglass pole between the elements.
I do have one, but the problem is, and it's an excellent ex-military one, but it requires guy wires to hold it up.
Oh yeah.
The advantage of the metal poles is they slip together in seconds.
And
there you go.
Look at that. See the beauty about that? You've got low gain, but if you can get it high.
Yeah.
So could he use the poles he's already got, but just need a plastic isolator or a carbon fibre isolator?
Yeah, between them. Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking, its ideal frequency is slightly less, isn't it? It's 137, 138 on those metal poles. It wasn't high; it was low. So in fact,
it upset it. It was all over the place, Andrew.
But if you wanted to retune it, what it requires is a bit of wire being moved or something.
I don't know.
But anyway, I'm inclined not to do that. I think thing is, what two.
I would far sooner. You've got to think of Annan.
Well,
I mean, she's going to moan less about that, isn't she?
It's not just Annan. I told you the neighbours were complaining, and that is hardly visible at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they complained about that one in the garden.
I didn't come round. He came round. We added up, and he'd been there the following morning. He was round. And 10 times he pointed out to me how shocked he was when he opened his window to see that in the garden. To such an extent that he then, I was trying to say to him, look, he's only there for a very short period of time, he's going to come down. And he said, well, he said, I'm not interested in your hobby. At which time I got rather annoyed and turned round and said, you've told me this 10 times. So it's the closest we've ever had to an argument. It's the same guy who complained about the shed.
I've never ever upset my neighbours. You know, you've got to get on with neighbours. But we'd been here. I've told Andrew about this. We'd been here 8 years. I'd got all the aerials I'd got up. I hadn't got planning permission.
Do you have to have planning permission then?
Well, you should have for anything above 3 metres, which is 10 feet. Should have for anything. Oh yeah. But I know radio hams.
Is that off the ground?
Yeah. But
what aerials on your house though?
You should have them for them, believe it or not.
But isn't there a certain amount of space you can go above your house? Because you can put a TV aerial up without having planning permission.
Well, they do, but you shouldn't really. No, you shouldn't really.
I thought there was something like 1 metre or something.
No.
Is that for a permanent thing though? So you can stick something up like Andy?
You can put anything that isn't permanent up 100 foot.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't too regular and you don't need planning permission, no.
So I can stick up my aerial for a meteor shower.
Can't do anything
So
about
really,
it.
when you do the next one, there you go. Can you make one that looks like 2 fingers? Then you can point it at
I think
anyway, just very briefly.
Some good, and this has been picked up that small.
We'd been here 8 years, and 1 January it was. There was a knock on the door, and it was a neighbour that backs onto us. Come round moaning about me